President of Gainesville is in jail tonight, accused of raping a woman in front of her child.
And concerns about safety in the neighborhood were already high. TV20's Ethan Badowski tells us what neighbors are saying.
Oh, Lord, it's a lot of work need to be done.
Dale Pete is concerned about safety in her neighborhood of Majestic Oaks.
It's just ridiculous. It really is. And then for the little kids, it's not really safe out here for the kids because they flying through here late at night in the daytime and not watching their kids. It's really bad.
Her concerns are only growing after her neighbor, Jonathan Adams, was arrested for rape. The victim says she went over to Adams' apartment to smoke marijuana Friday night.
She said that shortly after that, she began feeling not herself, and at some point eventually passed out, and then later in that evening she recalls waking up in an unknown apartment.
The victim told deputies her memory after she fainted is spotty, but she says Adams held her there the entire weekend until she was able to contact deputies Tuesday. Deputies then interviewed Adams and arrested him.
Adams had began feeding her some type of controlled substance pill, and every time that she would say no to any sexual advances, he would just continue to force feed those pills to her.
The victim brought her child with her Friday night, and when deputies arrived, they found the toddler naked. It is unclear if Adams did anything to the 2-year-old. Deputies say Child Services was notified, but where the child is cannot be disclosed.
Absolutely horrific. Not only the crime of sexual battery being so horrific, but a child having to witness their mother going through something like that.
Jonathan Adams is in the Alachua County Jail tonight facing charges of sexual battery and false imprisonment. His bond is set at $500,000. Reporting in Gainesville, Ethan Badowski, TV20 News.